There it is. Woo! So here we got the LS 320 IS, and upon closer inspection, I found a few sketchy things on the car. I can't really complain because I got the car dirt cheap, but I just want to run a few things down real quick. So first, I got a bolt on this vacuum line. I have no idea what it's for. Probably the brake boosters, something like that. I'm not really familiar with the LS engines, so I will have to research that and see what exactly this hose is for. So next up, we got the shock towers. The shock towers have holes drilled in them for what I assume is E36 suspension. I'm pretty sure it has to be E36 suspension. They do look like original springs and struts and whatnot. It does have drilled rotors, which is pretty cool, but I have no idea where they got this suspension from, but it's definitely not for this exact car. Alright, so now we got the brake booster and the brake lines. The brake lines were leaking more than your mom during happy hour at Applebee's. Just kidding, your mom is a very sweet lady and I love her. But in case you don't know, these brake lines are not supposed to be crinkled up like that, and that's more than likely the reason the previous owner was having his wheels lock up during track days. So we're gonna have to get brand new brake lines for that. So the last thing I have an issue with is this is my wheel well. They beat on this wheel well more than I beat on my my cars. No, but seriously, they did dent this car pretty bad in order for the brake booster relocation. So I am going to have to try to pop this out and sand it down, make it look good, repaint it. I don't want this ugly dent, rusty dent in my engine bay. I do want the car to look nice. I do want to show it off, you know, like every man. So I got the engine running. I got it started. It was running. I wired up, you know, the brand new engine harness and the relays and all that, and it was running. But the thing was that the previous owner, previous owner, chewed up all the wiring for the body, and I said, well, I don't really want to mess with all that, so I'm just gonna do the easy route and just splice in used harness that I had. So I had a used harness sitting over there. I was gonna splice it and you know, just call it a day, do a simple easy fix. But I asked the guys on Rev, I was like, is this a good idea? Because I was really on the fence of it. I was on the fence and I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do that. So I asked the guys on Rev Limited on the Facebook group, and like everybody told me, no, don't do that. Get a new harness, at least a used harness and put it in. You're gonna, you know, save yourself a lot of headache and a lot of time trying to fix all that stuff. So they kind of convinced me not to, you know, use that old harness and splice it in. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna make a brand new harness. I'm pretty confident that I could do it. I've never actually done a lot of wiring before, but I've slowly started to get a grasp of it, so I'm confident and I'm comfortable in thinking that I could get a, you know, harness made, a basic harness. It's not like I need anything special for the body. I just need the tail lights, fuel pump and stuff, and then the window regulators. That's basically all I need. This car is already pretty much stripped, and I got most of the wiring out already, so it wasn't too hard. I just wanted to save myself the headache, but you know what, they convinced me otherwise. So I said, you know what, I think I can make a new harness for myself. There is a guy on Facebook who makes custom race harnesses, and he charges like $2,500, so that's $2,500 to make a race harness. And well, that's not really a bad price for, I think, the effort that he's putting into the harness. I don't know the guy, I've never used his products, but so far wiring is just a big you know, process, and it's pretty complicated and a little difficult. There's a lot of resources, people out there willing to make harnesses, but I'm confident enough in doing it on my own, so I think that's what I'll do. So yeah, I mean, I started ripping apart the harness, stripping it out. I got the tail lights and fuel pump and all that removed. I have very limited space, so I got a lot of junk in the car. So I started taking off the ignition harness, the ignition, turn signals, all that good stuff. And I unplugged the ignition harness, and look what I find. A burnt cable. A thing, it was pretty much stuck to this connector. And yeah, it was just burnt. I don't know, it looks like one of the previous owners already tried splicing it. They had already spliced it and done whatever they did, but I mean, obviously, I don't know if this got burnt when I started it or at what point, but if I would have just spliced in that old harness, I would have never realized. And this is under the dashboard. It could have started a fire right here in the cockpit. So yeah, I'm kind of glad that I decided to go ahead and just make a brand new harness for myself. Now that I see that, I mean, it's definitely, that decision is already paying off, which is good. So I'm just going to continue stripping all this. My plans for the harness is I'm going to get, I've looked at this website called Wiring Specialties. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to depin as many sensors and as many switches that I can. But obviously, like these that are soldered in, I can't really depin them, and to remove the wires I would need to solder them. So I might just, well, obviously these are already on a connector, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the connector right here, figure out all these pins, especially because, you know, there's some wires that are already cut, like this one right here. So I'm going to just chop off right before the connector, be it to the turn signals, headlights, ignition, etc. Doesn't really matter. And I'm gonna wire all those in, make brand new wires, splice the least amount of stuff that I can splice, and wire it into a OEM fuse box. I have a brand new fuse box sitting. That one is cooked, literally it's cooked. So I'm gonna wire it into a brand new fuse box that I have, and try to get it as OEM as possible and make it look as good as possible. Do just the maximum amount of effort that I can do to make it look good, and you know, have a good quality so I don't have any issues down the road. So that's the good part about this, is that most of these wires are already on connectors, so really all I have to do is just put on new pins, brand new pins, and put on a brand new connector, and I'll be able to wire in my own harness. So yeah, that's the process. And currently taking out all the old wires. This is all the stuff that goes. But a little Easter egg, I cut up this carpet. It was brand new. Well, it was like a universal carpet, brand new, but I figured it didn't fit all the way properly. I figured since this is going to be covered by the center console, it doesn't really matter if I cut this, and I'm just going to cut it here and glue it properly and then extend it out, because here it's still a little bit loose. I'm going to plug it in all the way, or you know, get it to fit properly, and then that obviously is going to be covered by the center console, so I don't really have to worry about it. But I did find a Easter egg when I was cutting that. So if you can't read it, it says, "I didn't hack this," by Chris Q, which is the guy I bought the car from, but he wrote this in, looks like August 2018, so it was a while ago. So yeah, just I'm actually pretty excited to get started on this car. Unfortunately, I think I have one single video of the car, of the engine running, so I'll ask my editor very nicely, because he's not getting paid for any of this. I'll ask him to splice that video in of the car running, and hopefully, let's see, what month is it? It's February 2025. So I do want to get this car running by summer at the latest. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, because the wiring is going to be just a big project. So but I'm looking forward to it. I don't mind learning. I love learning. If you would have asked me, let's say back in 2017, I had just turned 18. If you would have asked me how to do an oil change on a car, I would not have been able to tell you anything. I had no idea how to work on cars, you know, close to 7 or 8 years ago. And now I'm basically building cars from scratch and putting in parts. You know, maybe after I'm good at wiring, I'll be able to build an engine. But we'll see. We'll take it one step at a time. It's a learning process, but just can't get discouraged, and try to do as much research and as much effort as I can to make things look nice. Because I don't like hack jobs, and I don't like doing things twice in a row. If I'm gonna do something, I want to do it one time. I don't want to do it twice. So yeah, it's just a quick update on the car. Thanks.